we're up on Mount Lebanon, and as you can see, the seabed is now forming this mountain.
It was long time ago from the Phoenician and the pharaohs, from the Phoenician with the Greek people, and from the ancient port, the Phoenician used to go to Egypt. They export from Lebanon cedar wood, and they import from Egypt the papyrus, and they give the papyrus to the Greeks, and the Greek give the name of Byblos. So Byblos, it means a library because of the paper, and because the first alphabet it was written here on the paper. Okay. So Byblos back from 6000 BC plus 2000 AD, it means 8000 years old Byblos. And we consider Byblos today one of the most ancient town of the world, and because she still continuously inhabited. But it's second city after Jericho, Jordan. Okay. And you have more than 17 cultures, started from the Stone Age, Phoenician, Amorite, Hyksos, Assyrian, Babylonian, Persian, Greek, Roman, Byzantine, Arabs, Crusaders, Mameluke, English, Ottoman, and French. We have 7 years civilization. And this fortress was built by the French Crusaders, removed the Saint-Gilles from the Toulouse. There is an entrance bridge, surrounded by water. And the river was close to Byblos, it's Adonis River. The round circle is the granite stones come from Aswan, Egypt. And when the Christians came to Byblos to build the fortress, they used to put the columns everywhere because they need to support the wall. And this is all the remains back from the Roman. We discovered a Roman bath. Here it was very big fountain, and we moved Igeia. So Igeia, it was head goddess. And Igeia, it was daughter of Esculapius, and Esculapius, he was god of medicine. So Igeia started today, it's in Byblos. Because Lebanon was French mandate. Maurice Dunant used to live here 60 years. He destroyed all the Lebanese houses except one house left as a tradition. So now the house is for the government, and it's closed for the public. So it was the ground level before the excavation. And down, this is all remains back from the Roman, and you see the railway. It was used by the French people since 1924. Okay? Of everything collapsed. Okay? And the rest it's Crusaders and Mameluke. Wow. We had a restoration, and the last restoration it was in 2002 by the French Canadians. They opened this place as a museum. And we have some photos and information, but all the artifacts and the items today is in the Beirut Museum. The National Museum. So now we'll go up to show you the houses, the walls, the temple. The cannon is Turkish here. Shoot from the sea from 1832 to 1840. From 1830 to 1840, when the British came to Lebanon, they had the Turks. So the British had the Turks and the French had the Egyptians. So it was shot from the sea. This all remains from the Phoenician. So before the excavation, the land was up to here. When he came to Byblos, he destroyed all the Lebanese houses except one house left as a tradition. So now the house is for the government, and now it's closed for the public. And all these columns here back from the Roman period, Via Romana. 3 houses, 3. These are shops, and we have 6 walls around Phoenician city. For 6 civilizations. We have Phoenician, Amorite, Hyksos, Assyro-Babylonian, and the last one by the Persian. So all the walls and the houses back from the Phoenician 5,000 years old. So Byblos, it was like an island. They have 2 ports, one from the north it was commercial, the second from the south it was for military. And from the ancient port, the Phoenician used to go to Egypt. They export from Lebanon cedar wood, and they import from Egypt the papyrus, and from here they use the name of Byblos. It means a boat. So don't forget, it is very old remains back from the Phoenician, 5,000 years old. So one house, it means one room. All the roof it was covered by cedar wood, and the floor it was covered by wood. 64 BC, when the Romans came to Byblos, they used to build a temple on top of the Egypt. We have the cathedral and we have the mosque. So Byblos, it's mixed. We have Christians and we have Muslims. It is between Shiite and Sunni. And Christians between Maronite Catholic and the Orthodox. So the Maronite follow the Catholic and the Orthodox follow the Byzantine. And the sacrifice always it was animals and male. Not in Lebanon, it was in Phoenicia. And the last one, it was called by Obelisk Temple, and this temple is Phoenician but Egyptian influence. This temple was built around 1,800 years BC.
2,800 BC. Wow. That's old.
And the stones over there, it was the remains of the Persian. And when the Crusaders came to Byblos, they destroyed all the Persian fortress because they need to build it.
They invented recycling.
Egyptian mythology, the legend says Isis came to Byblos and she came looking for her husband. And the legend says Osiris was killed by his brother. And when she came back to Byblos, she started to cry, and from her tears she made all the lake. So the lake it was made by the tears of Isis.
Wow.
When there is no lake, there's no tears.
Do you have many visitors to?
Visitors? Not so many.
Not too many tourists, no.
But,
It's too hot at the moment.
so around all the Lebanese house, it was the first settlement back from the Neolithic age, from 6,000 before Jesus. It means before the Phoenicians, because it was inhabited from the Stone Age, and after came the Phoenicians to Lebanon. So Phoenicia started from north of Syria, include Lebanon to south of Palestine. The Phoenician went to south of France, south of Italy, south of Spain. They used to go to Morocco, Algeria, Carthage. Means the Lebanese people, so we are not Arabs. We are all from the Phoenicians.
Yes.
So Phoenicia land, it means Lebanon today.
So you're Phoenician.
Phoenix in the Greek language it means a purple dye. Because when the Lebanese Canaanites crossed the Mediterranean, and when they entered to the Greece, they entered with a purple dye. So the Greek people see the Lebanese very red, so they said the red people are right, and they give the name of Phoenix. So Phoenix in the Greek language is a purple dye. They used to go to north of Africa between Morocco, Algeria, Carthage.
But they traded all along the southern France, all the way.
France of Italy, south of Spain.
Yeah.